What up? What up? Fantasy football hustler back at you.
What's happening? Get money.
Yeah, back at you for fantasy news today. Shout out to the crew that's already up in the chat. Let's get this news. We got first. I'm just going to remind everybody about Tim Patrick. It's still the talk of the town. It's still the newest and biggest news of the day.
This came and went already.
Tim Patrick, torn Achilles. He's out for the year.
He's out for life.
We don't have the crossroads booted up yet. I'm still getting everything back together with the soundboard. But yeah, anybody who really thought Tim Patrick was about to be something this year, just remember, he's not. And Marty says, "Dab, Tim, I'd give you mine." I know. Oh, man. How about, where's all the Cowboy fans at? Where's the roll call? They're stroking off Micah Parsons even more and more. Micah Parsons reportedly having one of the best camps, not just for any Cowboys player, for any player in the NFL right now. That's how much they are stroking him off.
He's at the best training camp in American history, on America's team, on America's grand stage, for Americans poster boy, Micah Parsons.
Tino, he said, if I didn't have this, I don't know what I would do at work. Shout out to Husson Bogey, you the man.
Man, shout out to Tino, man.
Yo, what up, bro? He said, Jerry Jeudy to the moon. If Tim Patrick getting injured was the reason why Jerry Jeudy was going to the moon, that means he ain't going to the moon. But I'm with you on Jerry Jeudy, though.
I've been on this rocket that was set to go to the moon via way of Jerry Jeudy for a minute now.
Stick with the Cowboys, and even though DeMarcus Ware was not a member of the Cowboys at the end of his career, it was big enough to where he said, I want my daddy, Jerry Jones, to introduce me into the Hall of Fame.
Because he retired as a Bronco too, didn't he, though?
Now, Patrick Mahomes.
Is this about training camp? Because I don't want to hear anything about training camp news, because no one's going to top Micah Parsons' training camp news. This is the best training camp in the history of training.
Ever. He already said it. He's the best of the best. With honor.
With honors, bro.
Patrick Mahomes, he came out and said he's really trying to find a balance between getting paid fairly, but not taking too much money away for the team so they can keep this roster intact as long as possible. I feel like he's doing a good job, because what is he, like top 6 in overall?
Yearly? Number 8 overall. Yeah. In paid QB. Salary-wise.
Yeah, yearly.
So he's still going to get the most money total contract.
Yeah.
Distance-wise, all that. Whichever metric you want to look at it, but this specific one, salary per year, he's like 8th overall.
Because no one's even close to him as far as overall money. Watson is like barely even halfway there to him. It is a 10-year contract versus a 5-year or 10-year extension when they did it.
Yeah, because like Mahomes' contract is something like 550, 600 million or some shit like that on paper. And like he will eventually get all of that because he's probably going to be on that team. But they keep restructuring it off the cap and paying them. And when they restructure it, you re-sign that new deal, which is just a little restructure of that for that year. And then they usually turn it into a signing bonus when you sign that restructure. So this is what they've been doing. He got his new deal. He got his extension in 2020. Being
a first, had 2 years left on his contract.
Yeah, I was gonna say being a first round draft pick in 2017. So 17 was the sit year. 18, 19, then 20, instead of telling them, hey, we're picking a future option, they went ahead and extended him there for the big Brett Favre 10-year joint, which, you know what I'm saying? Only Brett Favre's got something like that, apparently.
Well, like Michael Vick, he got a 10-year.
Michael Vick, too.
Last the whole 10 years.
Yeah, but 2021, he was already restructuring his deals.
And it was a 12, like, at that point, he was with the Chiefs for 12 years after that, because they had 2 years left on his extension. Yep. They extend him like crazy. And that's why they did it the smart way, because they give him all that signing bonus and shit, but like they push it out at least until those 3 years. He's still on his rookie contract for those 2 years, and he's nowhere near the 45 mil or whatever, and then that kicks in. Then he's at 45, and now he's around that. And you look at all.
I mean, what was the average? What was his average right now? His salary average? Because then he's still getting all that. It's just like he's not getting all of it against the cap.
So when he signed it, it was 45 for 10 years, is what it was. So that was like not including his rookie deal or anything like that.
Because then when Josh Allen got his extension, he jumped it up to he wasn't even up that high, huh? What was he? 38?
Yeah, 37 maybe, 37 and some change.
Yeah, so Mahomes' jump was pretty significant, and then it was the Dak Prescott one that was like
40, right?
Yeah, I guess, and that was the range that he had to beat. You know what I'm saying? Mahomes, at least. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and not only did he beat it, I mean, he got 10 years to beat it in a year of those 10 years.
Yeah, what is Dak's deal? Dak's deal's coming up pretty soon, huh? It's almost done. It's up like he has like this season and 2 more.
Okay, so it was a 4-year extension in 2021.
Oh shit!
So he still got the franchise pay, so that year did not count on the 4-year extension. So 4 years after that.
So he has him. No, they gave him the franchise as like a bonus. That was like it's like a loophole. So he was under contract. They gave it to him as a bonus.
It's because they're already locked in.
And it was the 2nd year of the franchise because he had got the tag the year before that when he got hurt.
Yeah.
Playing under the tag. Yeah.
So he's technically under contract until 26 is what it is. So he's got this year plus the 3 more years. So it's like it really kicked in like this year.
Then he goes to Minnesota after because he's the black Kirk Cousins.
That would be funny. Hell yeah, Derek said August 1st. We here. He said,
"Oh shit, it's the first fuck. I gotta start paying fucking mortgages."
Yeah, I just
to get them in process.
I just did that. Well, not the mortgage, paid the rent. Sucks.
I just realized that. Fuck.
And he said 17 more days now to go, Vegas, baby. We're going to see you guys in less than 3 weeks now.
It's dope because my girl, she was like, oh, I'm making a hoopla. It's so difficult, my schedule. I start my new job. And then an hour later, she comes in. Oh, I looked at it wrong. I had that weekend off. I start that Monday. I'll see, there you go. Shut up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If that doesn't equal the stars aligning, I don't know what does.
Listen, she could call the stars aligning. I had to make all kind of phone calls. I need to make no one gives me any leeway. I gotta make it happen.
Hey man, sometimes it takes people years to become an overnight success.
I'll shut a freeway down if I had to.
Marty said smoke legally in my state for the first time today. And he's got a little crying emoji there. Cause you know what? When California was getting legalized just because of companies that I was associated with and something, I didn't really care. I wanted it to just stay medical. But I'm really happy for peeps like Marty and Dennis. And now there is like legit no worry about ever having anything to do with weed. That's awesome.
The people that are in those places that are cut from our cloth, they don't like this.
No.
You know what I mean? They're like, fuck, it's going to fuck the game up because convenience. Some people will pay up like taxes and stuff like that at these dispensaries just for the convenience of being able to walk in when they want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or even like delivery services that these dispensaries are going to offer, etc.
Yeah.
Versus the street pharmaceuticals. You feel me? It was like they got to compete with that, and the prices they're always going to compete. But then it's about it becomes mom and pop now.
Yeah, it's really funny because like they pushed it off as long as they could in California. I mean, it's pretty much been legal since '96. Unless you're selling it, like that was like the loophole for them to still be able to throw a bunch of.
I was mad as fuck. I was like, why is Denver and why? I was like, why does Colorado and Washington already got it, bro? But then I was like, yeah, actually, I don't want it.
Because really, it was no matter what conspiracy
game in the streets, bro.
No matter what conspiracies people think about, the government moving drugs into the USA. That's always been a thing.
Tripping, bro. They would never do that, bro. They stand for good, wholesome American values. They would never do anything corrupt and crooked and sadistic like that.
Oh man,
Like putting crack in inner cities.
Marty said, haha, my plug is bittersweet about it. Yeah, because here's what's going to be. People are they're gonna try the dispensaries first. Like they're gonna deal with the dispensaries because of the new hoopla about everything. And so like those guys are gonna lose out on business for now. But in 3 months, there's gonna be like people like, I'm tired of paying these dispensary prices.
Or when they see this fucking the variety and really what it is, and then your price now it becomes mom and pop. Man, let me hit up my guy.
But now you really, whoever those guys are, you can't be playing around anymore. Like now you have to have the experience that somewhat rivals the dispensary, and your quality better be on point, man. You can't be like, oh, the dispensary is like way better than the tree that, the guy out hustling has.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this crazy times that we're living in. I like it. More and more states getting legal. I just want it to get legal in every single state. Get it federally legal. And Charlie Brown, what up? Charlie Brunja. He said that Twitter link is crazy with the Pickens catch. Dude, Pickens is getting stroked off like nobody's business today.
You know who's stroking him off, right?
Himself.
Yeah, he's over there jacking out like, I am the best receiver in the world. He literally says this.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. Which, okay, I understand that you're supposed to be
the best rapper in the world.
Who's the best 5 rappers in the world?
Oh, come on, bro. It's Dylan. That's a trick question. Most rappers are gonna say it's them though. So but when you're an artist, you're supposed to say, hey, when you're a defensive end, you're supposed to be, I'm the baddest motherfucker in the game. You know what I mean? Hey, Richard Sherman, right? He was like, I'm the baddest corner in the game. When you test you're a sorry ass receiver like Crabtree, this is the result you're gonna get. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, sometimes, you know what I'm saying? When you're the baddest motherfucker, you are. And then sometimes, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, sometimes you feel like a nut, and sometimes you don't. And so he's feeling like a nut right now. And I would say this just goes more again. I'd rather have it this way. I'd rather have George Pickens get pushed up and Deontay Johnson fall farther and farther, because I've been very vocal that I'd rather have Deontay Dropson out there that I could get in the 10th round in this offense that I think takes a step up. You crazy guys, go out there and draft George Pickens at his height. But he did make a dope catch today. He is stroking himself off like crazy. And Tino did say that was over Joey Porter Jr. It's just different right now. Like I put so little weight into these camp videos because nobody's hitting each other yet. Everyone's got a plan.
Until you can't get no separation. That's why he got to make these phenomenal catches. Yeah, it is what it is. But hey, if you like highlight reels and you got George Pickens, listen, I have one share of George Pickens. Last year I went in drafting. He was the value guy, like in the super flex rookie drafts. For sure. He's like kind of the value receiver guy, right? So I was ending up with a lot of him. I moved to all of them successfully. And I have one share left. It's the hard to start single QB one. This, I need this blurb. You know what I mean? I need this fucking blurb. Goddamn right. He's stroking off and said, listen, he's watching that highlight video right now. Like, I'm the best.
He be stroking
in the world.
And Dom knows what's up. Best 5 rappers alive. Dylan. I spit hot fire. Oh man. All right. We got some Texans news, not too much. Peacock brought this up yesterday where Schultz got popped, and yesterday had a little core injury. They didn't even say what it was. D'Amico said he'll be fine, so we're not worried about that too much. But for anybody who is on him,
he had a little hitch in his video.
He got smacked yesterday. Peacock said he got decleated, like out there. But that's because these defensive guys are trying to show out for D'Amico, trying to show they're laying the wood.
Bro, when that dude took the helmet off, bro, it was D'Amico Ryans, bro. That's right. This is my team, Schultz. He thought that wasn't a block. Show me a better block.
And what Charlie say here? He said, all I hear is fade Pickens from fantasy content because the low target share. I don't even like him, but 800 yards as a rookie, I don't see why his stats won't progress in year 2. They should. And maybe
slump. Next question.
Maybe he cracks a thou out. It's gonna be a lot of the
like when people take low hanging fruit like that. I'll rebuttal with a low hanging fruit take. Sophomore slump. Then I can also rebuttal that because I tend to argue with myself. I can say Steelers tend to have a history of finding these receivers like Deontay Johnson. He's PPR goodness. He a Juju's PPR goodness. There was always this, but they haven't been able to find that true number one guy since having an Antonio Brown. You know what I mean? And it seems like this is just reputation, maybe. When it comes to George Pickens, like reputation as far as Steelers are just phenomenal at drafting receivers. There's a reason why he has to make these phenomenal catches because he's not getting separation and making it easier for his QB.
Yeah.
Like he's a highlight reel in the making. He's maybe, like I said, if I have him and someone's willing to pay, I could utilize him to bring something else bigger back. I think
someone said earlier that he's giving off AB vibes. The thing with AB is like he was getting open. Big Ben was throwing him open like as well.
And AB is a different receiver. AB was the new prototype of the shiftier, smaller receivers. George Pickens is not a small dude. He's what, 6'2"? He's a guy that's going to get the bigger corners and that he's going to get the press coverage and the man coverage. And year two, out wide, he's going to be the guy that draws number one coverage. That's why these sophomore slump things tend to happen with the outside right receivers. Someone like St. Brown stays inside in the slot more. His production don't really drop like that as far as reception goes. You know what I mean? I think
I'm going to defend Antonio Brown. Why has he got to be small? It's because he's 5'10".
Yeah, which is not traditional to what, I'm saying, we're accustomed to having over there. You know what I'm saying?
Tyreek, he's like bigging up like Antonio Brown while he's on his podcast. You put the small receivers on the map, like you gave guys like me hope.
And he's not 5'10", isn't he like 5'9", Antonio Brown?
Maybe.
I know it's splitting hairs here, but
maybe he went in.
He'll rock a Gumby. Remember, he used to rock the Gumby or the Lego.
Maybe he went in there
like a whole other foot taller.
Maybe he went in there and updated Wikipedia himself. Like after Tyreek Hill was like, "Come on, man."
I seen Antonio Brown on some interview, bro. They were like, he was the dude who's introducing him. He's a all pro, and this is the name of all stats. And Antonio Brown. He's like, "Yeah, you just introduced me, and you said all my incredible accolades and achievements in the NFL, but you didn't say anything about Antonio Brown, the person. I'm Antonio Brown, the person here." And the dude's okay, this interview is going great.
Okay, Marty, this makes sense. Okay, he said I meant the AB vibes with his ego. Okay, I'm with you on that one.
Oh, yeah, come on, the best in the world. He said he was the best in the world. Let's go. He didn't say, "Hey, I'm going to be one of the best." He said, "I'm the best in the world." That means he's saying he's better than Jerry Rice. He's better than Calvin Johnson. He's better than Randy Moss. He said he's better than T.O. He says he's better than all the motherfuckers. I don't give a fuck about none of them. He said, "I'm better than his pappy. His pappy's pappy. I'm the best in the world." He said, "Hey, when they do the reboot of Titanic, it's me and that motherfucker. I'm the king of the world."
So funny.
Black Titanic.
Clock said Peacock should start calling his family the P Flock. I like it.
But see, here's the thing, though.
You don't want to call
a group of them. It's called a party.
That. Oh yeah, they're not a flock, huh?
Yeah, they're a party. The Peacock party already is. Come on, yeah.
And you really can't have anything associated with flock necessarily.
They're fine when you go to a restaurant. All these other people. They say, "Oh, a party of 5, a party of 6." No. That's us. Peacocks.
We're the only party in here.
We're the only party here.
The party. And Charlie Brown, he said, people are expecting second-year breakouts from wide receivers that did way less year as rookies. And seeing, one thing to remember about us, we're not going to say clickbaity, type of shit on Twitter. Twitter
ADP, he goes above Deontay Johnson. And yeah, he had 800 yards as a rookie, and people are trying to project him to go further. I just can't do that. I think maybe he scrapes a thou out, but that's not even hard. What's that do to Matt? 58? 58 yards a game. If he plays the entire season, that he'll scrape a thou out. I'm not going to argue against someone who says that. You tell me he's going to be a 1,400 yard receiver. You show me that, man, and I'll show you a liar.
because 1,000 isn't that great unless you're flirting with 10 touchdowns and you got close to 100 receptions. That's another.
And then this is how easily I internalize this shit. I always remind people, okay, so are you big on Freiermuth? What?
Right.
Was it just because he's a tight end? And people say, oh yeah, oh, because if you want George Pickens to be a thing, but you have the school of thought that Freiermuth's going to be a thing, especially in the red zone. But then if you ask someone like me, I say Najee's their red zone guy in every facet. And then there's going to be all these arguments. And then it's like the safety is, if I'm looking at it for fantasy wise, what floor and upside is Najee and Deontay Johnson. You know what I mean? It's easy for me to just look at it and be like, yeah, that's the only ones I'm going to have.
And see, look at that. And Clock, yeah, he's with us or with me, whoever. He said 1,000 yards for a wide receiver is good 10 years ago, not today. It was really good before the what's it called? Before the switch to 17 games. Like even then, if you're like 1,000 like on the mark, not really that great. But
okay, these phenomenal catches, I think I can think of 2 now. One in real game against the Browns on a Thursday night last year for George Pickens, and then this one in training camp apparently.
Yeah,
but I ain't seen any of them flash. Like, I guess I gotta look at his tape again or something. And that sounds hella pretentious. I gotta look at his tape. I gotta go find a YouTube highlight. Someone just compile it for me. Because man, on a per game basis, he sucks.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Outside of that highlight reel catch, you can't really convince me, bro. That and the fact that the Steelers have a history of hitting on receivers.
Yeah,
that's probably the strongest thing to bank on, if you ask me.
Yeah,
that surprised the fuck out of me when someone told me he had 800 yards. I was like, damn, he had 800 yards on all my dynasty benches, though. You know what I mean? Last year, because he wasn't even getting in there. You couldn't trust that motherfucker. Not yet.
For sure.
And not to be like in a single QB, a 6th round guy. Where's his ADP at? Do that real quick. I want to see what the public is on him right now.
On what? On Pickens?
Yeah. Because he's the best in the world. I don't know if you heard that.
He's super high.
If he's best in the world, we're not getting him 1 overall. It's all value.
Yeah, let me see. He's going 67.
See, I don't want that.
What's that, like 5th round? Start of the 6th round?
Yeah, 12-teamer. I don't want that. And then we're talking single QB here. There's too many other people in that range that I want. I'd rather have Jared Judy. I'd rather have Terry McLaurin.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy is like with all these weapons and people wanting this offense to be better, you got it right in my opinion. If anything, then just have Pickens. Like Pickens, Pickett. If you're in a super flex, Pickett is like this guy that could take a step. He got a lot of weapons.
Yeah,
got a lot of them. You know what I mean? And if that Steelers defense doesn't take a tremendous step back towards being that Steelers defense that we know and fear, because last year and the year before that, they were one of the worst Steeler defenses we've ever seen as far as giving up points and yards through the air, on the ground, everything.
For sure.
Yeah.
That is for sure. And Crispy in the house, what up? He said you could literally bake a cake in a vehicle parked only 30 minutes in Texas right now. No sympathy. I'm in Vegas.
Let's do it. Let's see if we can do that.
And Charlie Brown said, I don't know, Pickens ADP, I just haven't heard any fantasy heads say anything positive all summer. Don't see how he can have a high ADP if everyone collectively shits on him. See, the thing is, a lot of these fantasy analysts, they're not even playing in like a lot of leagues. So I guess it just depends on who you follow. Because like I'm seeing a lot of like super young guys giving a lot of content out there. And one of the guys, it's funny, like, they're championing like Charbonnet, like so much. Like, oh, Charbonnet is about to just outproduce Ken Walker without any injury and everything. And what happened?
Dead.
Yeah, he died already. Just to make sure that those people can have something to cry about. Oh, I wasn't wrong. He just got hurt.
But if he didn't, like I live in the real world, bro. Like when someone can't tell, if someone says, hey, I think George Pickens could be a top 36 wide receiver, easy, bro. And if he gets 8 touchdowns and 1,000 yards. Yo, he's a top 24 guy. Easy, bro. I'm like, okay, that sounds like something I can get behind. Because then the one that will pump him up is like the touchdowns. But see, no one, you don't never hear me come on here and predict anything like touchdowns like that because they're the most wonky. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and
wonky thing.
It's hard to predict any kind of touchdown if for someone just being a rookie.
And even like for a sophomore QB, like he doesn't really have much. I can watch and be like, okay, here's what he favors in the red zone. Does George Pickens? Is that what he favors? An outside? Does he favor the tight end? He's looking at the running back in the flat because he did that like twice last year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's I don't know. It's like that's why Najee goes out of value this year. That's why Pickett in a super flex goes into as a value, and Deontay Johnson, the only one in whatever format that goes too high for my liking is Jorge.
Yeah, for sure. Big Ten's in the house. What up? What up?
What up? Reporting from the center of the earth.
Yeah, shout out to one of the 420 crew leaders. Let's get it. All right, how about Jameson Williams? I don't think I want to get any Jameson Williams anywhere anymore. So he gets into a fight at practice, and then it's like he's only been struggling, and then like he's the 6-game suspension looming. Like everything negative is going on for Jameson Williams,
and he's taking it out on this young kid, undrafted free agent who brought in trying to make a name for himself. He just clowned him on a play. You know what I'm saying? Broke up a pass from golf, and then they talk shit. And here's Jameson Williams talking about all this fucking anger and this suspension, and everything just built up like a passive aggressive child that 90% of them are in the league these days, and entitled and all that shit. And he just swings on him.
Damn it. And seeing, look at Derek. Yep, Jameson Williams, the new mascot. He's more than a player. That's for sure right now. Marty said Jameson's done everything to show you he's going to bust. Yes, everything. And you can't even blame him for getting injured in college, but it's just everything that I saw last year and then being stupid enough to get caught like gambling on something that wasn't.
Imagine the depression. He might even went through like a bout of depression and then but still got drafted first overall. He's like, oh shit, you know what? Things are looking up for me. I mean, 16. And then he fucking starts placing them bets. And I bet you he's not educated. He took it for granted and didn't take it serious. When they teach you, when you go to that rookie symposium, you go through these seminars and they teach you. There's like Chris Carter forever. He used to be at all them rookie joints and he'd tell, look, kids, don't smoke crack. You know what I mean? Like, you really go out there like.
Bogey says like that. Bogey says that like a dad, knowing frustrated kids.
Yeah, hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay. Josh Jacobs. You know why I hated him for so long? Because he was one of them kids, bro. Like, I don't care about none of your guys' fantasy leagues. You know what? Yeah, I am gonna play. Then he doesn't play. Fuck your leagues. Fuck you,
what an asshole. What an asshole.
And see, it works in the same way too. I'm like entitled. He owes me something or something. But you know what? Goddamn it, you did. You lied to me.
See, he didn't owe us anything. He didn't have to tweet that. Like, he didn't have to be a troll.
Yeah, he was diabolical.
Fucker.
Actually, makes me like him even more. You know what? I like him even more.
Got you with the long con, you fuck.
Yeah, now that now I hate him again. Because then when he got me with the long cons, because then I bought in, and now I have him in some dynasties, and now he's fucking me again. The long con strikes again.
And Charlie
said, I thought I was out. He brought me right back in.
And Charlie said, drafted Garrett Wilson in one of my dynasties last year and wanted to diversify, so I went JMO and my others. Regrets, yeah. For sure.
I mean,
last week's news that we got before we bullshit a little bit before we get out of here. Jalen Hyatt apparently has been shredding the first and second team defense. And he was clocked at camp 24 miles per hour, the fastest recorded player in NFL history was Tyreek Hill at 23.2 miles per hour back in 2016.
So he the second fastest?
At least from what they've clocked him on the field.
This is Jalen Carter?
Jalen Hyatt. Hell no, not Carter.
No, my bad. I might not have heard the second name.
Yeah, Jalen.
Oh yeah, the Giants kid.
Yeah.
The fastest kid ever. Now let's see if Danny Dumbass could drop it on a dime.
Yeah.
Tell me how that goes, y'all. You know, this reminds me of legendary John Ross. Remember him? He was so fast.
Yeah.
No one's seen him ever since. He's gone.
So fast he ran away and never came.
Whatever happened to John Ross? Jalen Hyatt is the new John Ross.
Tina said I'm going home early. A customer yelled at me. That's how it goes sometimes. That's why sometimes we need to watch that pop copy video just to remember. You graduated elementary school and nobody could tell you shit. Oh man. That's funny. Big Ten said I was just about to say Ross. Usually the super burners don't turn into.
But Tyreek Hill is legit because he could actually run routes too. And like,
it's crazy. Like, I guess what's crazy is that people really forgot that like Tyreek Hill wasn't any kind of highly touted when he came out. Like he's a 4th round pick in fantasy.
He really meant that on when he said it to Antonio Brown.
Yeah,
because they have a similar story in that sense as far as draft capital went. You know what I mean?
Remember, he's a special teamer. When he comes on, it's like he's the return man. He's not really getting wide receiver snaps. Like in the beginning, he had to earn those.
Yeah, they're deep crosser. They're deep and shallow crosser guy, like the guy that was in like the end around guy in that Andy Reid offense before that was Albert Wilson. Remember him?
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? It was like, I just remember I was like, this guy is like Albert Wilson on crack. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Like the steroids or something. That crack sounded terrible. But it was like, and then it was like, yo, this kid is like,
what a stranger.
He's everything Tavon Austin wanted to be, right? Yeah. And to be Tyreek Hill looked at like kind of like built like a Steve Smith Sr., but with Percy Harvin like skill set and faster than Percy. Like, yeah, I was like, yeah, I like that. Once I wrapped my head around my own comparison, I was like, yeah, I gotta have Tyreek Hill.
See, it was crazy because when I used to work like a real job, I helped create a work league over there, and it was funny because I was winning every year and then I'd lose in the finals. Like I got to the finals like every single year in that league, and somehow this bullshit luck kind of screwed me over from like the other whoever I was facing. And I remember in 2017, I'm drafting all the Kareem Hunt. I got Lenny Fournette hella late, got CMC hella late, like all this shit. And so my running backs are like just so crazy that I can't even use them all. And Tyreek Hill was blowing up in 2017, and I traded CMC away straight up for Tyreek Hill. And still didn't propel me to any championship, but CMC not getting any touchdowns that year.
Yeah, that rookie year. Yeah, he was still sharing with Jay Stu. Shout out to my man Jay Stu.
Yeah.
Jonathan Stewart. I remember that year in the playoffs, he had the run where he's running and the defender he's gonna go down low at his knees. And he looked like he's about to get ready for the hit, but then he just jumps and does a front flip over the dude.
Yeah, that shit was wild.
Remember that shit? But the dude hit him too, where when he flipped, he like rolled off the dude's back like in the air though. It was hard.
Yeah, because like you see it, because it was like he got hit, but it was like you're like, oh shit!
He's like, oh, he motherfucker.
He made it and he got up. He's not fucked.
Yeah, that shit was hard.
That shit was wild.
And in that playoff game, CMC got his first touchdown, his first career touchdown. So.
Yeah. Tino said we got to run 40s in August. I'll time everybody. I'll watch you. I'll time everyone.
Hey, listen, I'll have my own squad. Let's do that.
You know what's funny is
I'll have my runners. Huss will have his.
You know what's funny? Devin the dude, he did say that one time it was like they were doing the 420 Olympics before like we tried to make it a thing. He said that they had like you had to roll the fastest blunt and then you had to run whatever it was. It probably wasn't a 40, but like you had to roll that and then you had to run, and then you had to get to the end and then you had to smoke.
Dang. Hey, you know what though? It's crazy because all my homies that were brothers growing up that played sports and shit, and then we all smoked weed and shit. It used to trip me out how like they'll burn up a big ass blunt and we'd be like drinking 40s and they'll just play basketball hella hours. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I'm like, that shit's crazy, man. Like
I mean, the most that we did for the
I'm cooling right here.
Me and Chipokawaka, a couple other guys. I mean, it would be every Tuesday and Thursday was like basketball day, and we'd be getting hella high bong loads right before.
Damn.
Enough to still run like I don't know. 2 games was always because we were going to 21. So
you guys going? Oh, you guys were going half court?
No, full court, 5-on-5.
Okay.
Yeah, we had it to where there were some times where like it was usually just 10 guys that showed up, but then randomly someone bring a friend or something.
Yeah, you have some subs.
Yeah, then things change around a little bit. It was hilarious though, because one time it was like 5 motherfuckers rolled up and they didn't play at that court. And then man, all these motherfuckers are calling fouls and shit.
This you got y'all Sandlot story or what?
Pretty much. Yeah, it was funny because like
it's our shit.
Because on like when we would play, the 2 best players who were Chipokawaka and then this other dude, Chris, they were always the captains because they were the best. It was like if they were ever on the same team, it's not even a fun game at that point. And it's funny. I remember Chipokawaka, there was a couple times where I didn't necessarily deserve to be drafted first. There was a lot of guys out there who were more skilled than me, but I had the spot up 3 and Chipokawaka hated playing against me because I was the only one who made it hurt when he would go up for a layup.
Because you're a whole brick wall. Set the screen for you. Just stand right there. Boom.
People hated that shit.
You don't want to go in the paint.
Yeah, and we were never calling fouls on each other. We played hard. It would never get to a point where people are like legit like pushing people or anything like that. But everything, like you could body a motherfucker up and it could be considered a push. It just wouldn't be like a push with the hand necessarily. If
it was always like, say someone's pressing up on you, you know what I mean? It'd be like shoulder.
Yeah.
It's basically everything but the hands and the elbows on, whatever, and the knees and shit.
For sure.
You might even be on the side of someone, just give them a whole side shot.
Damn, Peacock said bong rip, run the 40, then exhale. Peacock's on my team. First round draft pick. And Magic Man Ricky said what's crazy is Tyreek wasn't even scouted to play football, got a scholarship to run track. Hell yeah. It's crazy that he's out there right now, or at least in the offseason. Remember we showed that video a while ago? He's out there dusting professional track stars still. Doesn't even look like he has a perfect running track motion because his arms are all wild and shit, like literally to the side. Doesn't matter. Still dusting people.
He's actually lighter running because he's used to running with all this gear on and holding a ball. So it doesn't even matter about his arms. His technique's different because how about this too? When it comes to Tyreek Hill, right? This dude is like doing all kind of shit. Isn't he like out there like shooting too?
Yeah, he's a baller. He could dunk. He could slam.
Yeah, bro. He's a shooter too, bro. Fucking. And then he was on a jet ski. Then he like slapped someone upside the head or something. Yeah, he plays one of the baddest motherfuckers in the world. You know what's crazy? I can't think of it now on the Dolphins, but I know for years right on the Chiefs, you would see him like you go in motion. And then when he gets to the other side, it's not like he stops. By the time he gets to the other side, the ball snaps, boom, he's gone. Deep crosser. Then you say the ball didn't even go in his direction. Yeah. And then the play's done. He's running back around, come back to the line. Then they start standing in motion again, running again. It's like he like never stops. And it's crazy because he stays the same fast, bro, all these years.
Tino said, I got
He never stops, bro. Like when you watch him, it's like, yeah, this guy's running like miles and miles every game just from the way they were using him with the Chiefs. You know what I mean? Yeah. Now he's with the Dolphins. They got a shitload of pre-snap motions. It's the it's a Niner-esque offense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like the inverse of it, instead of the run, they taking it to the air. You know what I mean?
Tino said, I got to be honest. If it was smoking, athletic ability at the same time, I got to be up there as a favorite. I like it. He said, I got a 16-second blunt and a 5-second 40. That's money right there. That's money.
I probably got like a 3-minute blunt and like I don't know, 20-second 40.
Yeah, for me, I was going to say maybe 15, 20 seconds. Like, get a little brisk jog going out there.
How long is 40 yards, man? I might even walk that motherfucker a smooth 20 seconds, man.
Yeah, what's 40 yards? That's 10
120 feet.
Yeah, but how many yards is that? That's like what? Like
40 yards?
10. Oh, it's a 40-yard dash. Yeah, 120 feet.
The math is right in front of us.
That's what I was trying to think of. What's the correlation to feet? Yeah, there you go. And you said it, and I still.
You're the math guy.
Because 90 feet is baseball, right? So it's even 25% more on top of that. Because I know in baseball,
what's crazy too is like how many yards is a football field, right? So these breakaways on a straightaways is probably the rarest thing to happen in live game action, honestly, unless you have one of them. What was that? A Varsity Blues play? You got the 4 motherfuckers right here. You got the 1 motherfucker right here. And for some reason, all these people over here, they don't realize there's 1 motherfucker here. He's gone.
Maybe, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like straightaway speeds, like, okay, I'm not gonna pretend like I'm like a super athlete to understand this, but I always hear people differentiate speed and being like quick.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, he's quick in the agility in tight areas, and that's you like that for your running back if he's like between the tackles running back. But if you have a scat back, you want him to have that speed because if he or even like a zone.
Arian Foster wasn't highly touted because he didn't really have the top end speed.
But he ran in the wrong. He ran in his own run scheme, so it's one cut. Exactly. So it's like the scheme, the pocket's gonna move. You find that seam, you're gone.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like that's the Shanahan shit because that's Gary Kubiak. Mm-hmm. That's what made Arian Foster.
Oh, Marty's not messing around. My fastest 40 time was 4.9. There we go.
Okay,
moving out there
in the snow,
huh? And Tino said in high school, linemen couldn't full sprint for 40 yards before they got tired. Yeah, for sure. It takes a long time before you're like, who is that? Who was that lineman out there this year that ran like a 4.7 or some shit like that? 300-pound motherfucker. Like he was moving out there. Not too many people are like that. That's for sure. And what did Charlie say? Tyreek offered the dude he slapped $200 to not file charges. Should have came with $2K and some tickets. They've since resolved everything. So whatever.
I bet you Tyreek's cut at my house. I got about 8 cars. I got 2 that you could choose from. He has to put the amount of cars on. I got 8 cars, but come to my house. There's 2 that you can choose. You can have one.
It was legit. Probably just getting a couple sets of box tickets.
Here's this Honda, but this Honda right here meant a lot to me. I had this in college, bro. I used to run faster than this Honda. You can have it. Sorry for smacking you upside the head.
And Marty said 6'3", 175. I should be faster. I've always been slow. So either way. Yeah, I don't think I've ever
175. So he's a slender dude. He got some stride though. You know what I mean?
See, I'd be the guy for baseball. It was like always just hitting it in the perfect gap in the outfield to where I just get a little jogging double. Just going right into second.
That also, if say I was an outfitter, right, I would be studying all the hitters anyway. Where I'd be like, okay, this guy really hits right here.
Yeah,
a little bit back right here. Then this guy, this motherfucker, this was a line driving motherfucker. Let me get up in a little tighter here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the film, all that shit. I always think everything was like best of the best. You remember that movie?
Yeah.
Because the best of the best member is the American team. They're going to fight the Korean team. It's going down. Everyone has their opponent. They know in months in advance. They're in the classroom, one by one, they're all on the desk, dropping fucking dossiers, like whole folders of their opponent.
Yeah.
This is your opponent. This is your opponent. And Tommy, they drop it on his shit. It's the guy that killed his brothers. He ain't playing now. He really serious. You know what I mean? He really, they training hard. See, I don't know if Micah Parsons was training that hard. Like, the best of the best, bro.
Come on, Derrick Henry like trains with dudes like coming at him with knives and shit. Like, what's he?
No, that was Aaron Donald.
Oh, Aaron Donald. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Aaron Donald.
Actual knives too, full speed.
What's Parsons
Oh, you
doing?
can't get him on the line. He's like, yeah. He chops your whole fucking hand. He'll chop a lineman's hand right off. You know what I mean? Them hand checkers going.
Until I hear some shit like that from Micah Parsons. Nah, he ain't even that hard yet. Not even that tough. Damn, Peacock said he's got to be at like a 4.7 or a 4.8 right now if I'm lucky. And Dino's like, you run a lot, bro. And
Miles Peacock still plays flag football. Like, matter of fact, shout out to
AJ.
AJ.
The finger incident.
Like him and AJ, they would always talk about, oh, yeah, we don't live far from each other. And they fucked around and end up in the same flag football league.
That's just pretty funny. Peacock, he said he hasn't played since the finger incident. Right? When he broke his finger out there, man, see.
Or like he sprained it or dislocated or something.
Oh, he said he broke that shit.
Oh, shit.
He said he broke it, man. He was out there. He almost cut it off for the championship, man. He was ready.
Can't hold anything back.
Peacock's just a preseason game, okay? Just cut it off. I don't need it. Let's get this win. Get this done.
Are you supposed to simulate? What if it was a championship? All right, don't take that away from me. That's it's all about visualizing. When I'm on the field, I'm in the Super Bowl.
Oh man.
Don't take that. You can't take that away from me.
So funny. Oh man. I know Song finally woke up or something because I saw him I don't know. I'm assuming he took the pick, but he put something in the chat for sure.
See if he autoed, because maybe he say, hey yo, I did it again, y'all. Because remember I told you he works like crazy schedules and shit.
Now he got his pick in. He got Gibbs in. That he said he was hella pissed. He said he was hella pissed because Ridley went the pick right before him.
We actually all had this agreement. 31 of us were like, listen, don't no one touch Ridley. Actually, there was 30 of us. We didn't tell that guy. It worked out exactly how we planned.
And no one's gonna get him until it's one spot right before
this guy's
really
tripping. Ridley. I was mad as fucking just like him. I knew I wasn't gonna get Ridley.
Man,
but it was just
Marty said, Bogey, I like your start. I'm hating on it, man. I'm hating on that start because it's really nice.
You know what though? I think it would have been nicer if I had Cousins. I'm gonna say this is gonna haunt me because a lot of times the force will tell me, but I wanted that drop so bad. Yeah. Hello, ladies. All the ladies.
Yeah. It ain't over, baby. It ain't over. I still got a lot of picks before I'm going to be on here at the 228.
It is crazy because like when I was talking to like Mike Joseph or Steamboat, you know what I'm saying? It was interesting because they're like, damn, like they don't know each other. But when I'm talking to them individually, they're both like, damn, man, fucks. I hate where I'm at. Then when they get there, like, man, this shit is straight, man. You know what I mean? Because you start realizing,
that's only round one. Wait till now. Like everyone is gonna hate their spot except for like maybe not you because you were in the top 12, so that's still in like the 40s or whatever, like early 40s.
Oh, from the
50s very soon and 60s. And yeah, we're like when we think round 2, round 3, these guys who are getting man, these are like round 6 guys.
Yeah, like I'm looking at Chuck. Like I'm like, okay, when I come back in approximately when I made my pick, I was thinking, okay, it's 19 plus 12. It's 31 picks till I'm back, right, on the third round reversal. So I'm thinking, okay, that's about basically almost 3 rounds normally, right? So they have 2.5 rounds, right? So I'm like, okay, there's about 25 players that aren't going to be there. So I have to group them like, okay. And that's how I did it with Higgins on the swing round. Okay, like, I'm going to either get Higgins or Olave. That's how I figured it. And then I wanted Higgins, so I felt good about that because I was like, but I was prepared to take Olave because I figured I would always take Higgins over Olave, but someone took Olave. I was like, okay, cool. You know what I mean? They all did everything for me.
Yeah, we're gonna see what is going on in that one. It's not even worth like watching. Like all these guys, whoever's getting picked now, I already knew they weren't gonna make it that far.
Yeah, you have to just kiss them goodbye, huh?
Oh
like,
yeah.
When you make the choice, you're like, okay, it's this guy or all these guys because all these guys are gone now.
Yeah.
Why would I pick this guy?
And I already knew there was not going to be any running back or wide receiver in the top 20.
Who picked Tony Pasta there? Who's that right there?
Tony Pasta.
Because that guy, I would just maybe be like week, 4 or 5. He's like, why did I take Tony Pasta in that second round?
Let's see, where is it? He went. It was Nibo. He starts
on the reigning champ.
No. That's my.
He was the runner-up. Nibo was the one that knocked me out from going. I think I don't.
Yeah, I don't remember if he made. I know he was in the final 4. I remember
Nibo actually. I remember that clear as day. He knocked me out.
Oh, Marty said, Jimmy G's not my lover. Nice.
Hey, man, shit, I love Jimmy G. Jimmy, your Christmas card is always going to be in the mail.
And Marty said, when do you think IDP will start going? Looks like their ADP is higher. All the ADPs keep rising as like days go on because more and more IDP
try to go top heavy. That's if I was to give any advice, I just say however you view what top heavy is, try to be it.
And here's a lot of these drafts, we're gonna see IDP going on the regular after everybody fills up their offense. Mostly just happens like that.
Hey, if you have a luxury of being like around a swing around, you might be able to be like, I'll take my big dog LB or safety, and then I'll take my receiver or running back. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
we might have the luxury. It's gonna be harder to be like, okay, I'm gonna take a linebacker here, even though I need a running back and a receiver. Yeah. And then 64 picks. Hopefully. Yeah.
That's what's tough. Is you're gonna see people jump in certain spots.
I gotta go too. I just looked at the time.
Yeah, for sure.
I gotta head out.
All right. Sounds good, Bogey.
Peace.
Right, later, brother. Yeah. I wouldn't expect any IDP going in the second round. Maybe 1 or 2, maybe 3 guys go in the third round. But yeah, that's probably going to be about it. And it'll be probably, we have 5 offensive starters. So if someone's really waiting on QB, maybe they pick their other spots and they leave the QB out. But yeah, the 5, 6, 7 rounds, those are going to be the ones where I think we're seeing a big majority of IDP start going. All right. So tonight we are going to be doing a derby draft for the first installment of the Hustler Offense Only Dynasty League. So we got a draft order race going down tonight, and we got a derby draft going down. It is going to be super fun, 5 o'clock West Coast time. And I'm starting one more Offense Only Dynasty League. If you want to get in, it's $87 for year 1, $55 every year after. 10 starters on offense, 16 bench, 5 taxi, 5 IR spots. Oh yeah, it's going to be a solid league. Handful of spots open as of right now. Go subscribe to the podcast, Silver Screen Breakdown Podcast, and the Fantasy Football Hustler Advice Podcast. Go ahead and do that on all platforms: Spotify, Apple, Google, Amazon, literally everywhere that you get your podcasts at. And then go subscribe or go to fantasyfootballhustler.com and go subscribe everywhere: TikTok, Instagram, all that. And something new that we're doing this year, it's not really new, but we're going harder on it this time. Pause. Is the one-on-one fantasy advice. You want one-on-one advice from the Hustler, live draft advice. You can get down for multiple drafts. Go to one-on-one FF advice That's oneononeffadvice.com. It all starts in the draft, so do not wait and sign up after your team starts sucking. Sign up right now and get live help during the draft. oneononeffadvice.com. We are going super, super hard for all the crew members tonight, 5 o'clock West Coast time. We'll see you guys there for this Derby draft. Even if you're not in it, come for the smoke session. We'll see you then. Peace out.
As I make my way, the fact I'm still alive, my claim to fame. It's no surprise I'm on a rise, finna stake my claim. Separate me from the others, cause we ain't the same. Ask my brothers from another, we ain't for play. Time is money, so we got no time to waste. Soon as this thing's moving, it can't be stopped. Blue bands in my pocket, call that juggernaut.
In the world today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your work sure would help a lot. Get your life together.
You know the stat quo. Finna get a bag, bustin' down that blow. Out of East Side Ho, where they know my name.